Chapter 47. Power Monet.
Perhaps the definitive writer of Monet in our generation is the great Paul Simon. To all who would follow him into the electric wonderland of literary impressionism, he offers this advice. If you want to write a song about the moon, walk along the craters of the afternoon when the shadows are deep and the light is alien and gravity leaps like a knife off the pavement. If you want to write a song about the heart, think about the moon before you start, because the heart will howl like a dog in the moonlight, and the heart can explode like a pistol on a June night. So if you want to write a song about the heart, and it's ever longing for a counterpart, write a song about the moon. Hey, songwriter, if you want to write a song about a face, think about a photograph that you really can't remember, but can't erase. Wash your hands in dreams and lightning. Cut off your hair and whatever is frightening if you want to write a song about a face. If you want to write a song about the human race, write a song about the moon. If you want to write a song about the moon, if you want to write a spiritual tune, then do it. Write a song about the moon. Paul Simon's advice to writers in Song About the Moon from his album Hearts and Bones, 1981, Warner Brothers Records. You should go buy this CD if you don't already own it.
Chapter 48. Sneak past the security guard.
Doubt is what happens when the security guard of the rational, logical left brain isn't sure whether to accept an idea or not. But unlike his left brain counterpart, the right brain doesn't make judgments at all. He isn't concerned in the least about plausibility. That's the left brain's job. So when your idea is rejected at the door of the left brain, just knock on righty's door. He'll let anyone in. Once inside the mind, your idea can scoot over to the logical left on the water slide of symbolic thought. There are several ways this can be done. One of them is to use an anapest. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. An anapest is a rhythmic pattern of syllables composed of two light stresses, followed by a heavy third stress. Bum 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 bum. Anapests don't have to rhyme, but often do. Since anapests are inherently musical, they enter directly into the non-judgmental right brain, and upon crossing over to the left via the dorsolateral prefrontal association area, they often become stuck in the phonological loop. In other words, you can't get them out of your head. Ever notice how much easier it is to recall phrases that have a lyrical beat? Relentlessly subjected to a constant barrage of advertising, the average person today feels like a juror in the O.J. Simpson trial, with 900 exhibits, 433 motions, and 126 witnesses providing an overwhelming glut of tedious data, facts, and figures. In the end, most legal analysts agree that O.J.'s not guilty verdict swung on Johnny Cochran's relentless serenade to the jurors. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. In the jury deliberation room, as the 12 tried to fit all the data into a clear, coherent picture, Cochran's anapest echoed in their brains. Cochran further assured them repeatedly that Simpson could not, would not, did not commit these crimes. Had Cochran presented a rational, logical, left-brain definition of reasonable doubt to the jurors, O.J. would probably not be walking the street today. Where did Johnny Cochran learn about the magic of the anapest? Most likely, it was at his mother's knee. Oh, the sea is so full of a number of fish, if a fellow is patient he might get his wish, and that's why I think I'm not such a fool when I sit here and fish in McElligot's pool. Yes, it was in 1937 that the good Dr. Seuss began using anapestic meter almost exclusively. Alcohol is absorbed directly into the blood through the lining of the stomach, completely bypassing the body's digestive system. That's what makes it dangerous. Employing a rhythm, particularly an anapest, is like serving alcohol to a listener. But it's just one of the ways that you can sneak a message past Broca, the uptight little security guard of the mind. There are three other ways: humor, mental participation, and subliminal associations. 1. Humor enters the left brain, then surprises Broca with a punchline that he didn't see coming. Bingo, you're in. 2. Mental participation, or drama, begins in the dorsolateral prefrontal association area between Broca's area and the prefrontal cortex, then crosses over into the right brain as the listener, reader, or viewer begins imagining experiences she's never had. But if the left brain security guard is on high alert, he'll notice what you're trying to do and will become as cautious as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But don't worry. There's still a window that you can crawl through, and it's never guarded. I'm talking about subliminal associations. When California's conservatives wanted to define the word marriage by law, Proposition 22 was added to the California ballot. It was officially titled the Defense of Marriage Act. As the date for voting drew near, it became apparent that the proposition was going to lose by a wide margin. Finally, a wizard said, "The meaning of a word is always bigger than its definition. Words carry associations." The word defense is a violent word, conjuring associative memories of national defense and defense budget. It makes us think of Vietnam and bloodshed. And what is the Marriage Act? Sex. Juxtapose the word defense with Marriage Act, and you get a very uncomfortable feeling. The subconscious image is that of a battered wife defending herself in a marriage, or of a woman defending herself from sexual assault. No one wants to vote for a thing called the Defense of Marriage Act. With just a few weeks to go, the new ads began talking about Proposition 22, the Protection of Marriage Act. It won by a landslide. Protect and defend may mean the same thing in a dictionary, but they're radically different in the human mind. On high alert, Broca can anticipate and defend against any attempt at subversion through humor or mental participation. But poetic meter is a bit more subtle. Most subtle of all, however, are subliminal associations, since they're not introduced from outside the listener, but arise from within the listener's own mind. Standing on shore, looking out to sea, who can stop the rising of the tide? Oh yes, words are a powerful force.
Chapter 49. Lists, Steps, and Rules.
When Stephen Covey listed the 7 habits of those who are left-brain dominant, did he mean to imply that we who prefer the romance of the right brain cannot be highly effective people? Sadly, most of America lives within the confines of a narrow mental universe defined by the left-brainers. We are in the thrall of enumerators, people who are constantly compiling lists of the top 500 companies, the top 100 places to live, the top 10 TV shows, and so on and so on. This is a very left-brain way of trying to understand what's going on. But it provides only a narrow, linear sense of reality. Nevertheless, we get this compulsive numbering of things, telling us how to live our lives. To gain a sense of control, however illusory, we search endlessly for numbered lists. A plethora of books have been written for those who prefer the clarity of steps and rules to the ambiguity of guiding principles. These books usually sell very well. The 100 Absolutely Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. The 55 Steps to Outrageous Service. The 48 Laws of Power. The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. The 12 Gateways to Personal Growth. The 11 Immutable Laws of Internet Branding. The 10 Natural Laws of Successful Time and Life Management. The 9 Natural Laws of Leadership. The 9 Steps to Financial Freedom. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The 7 Steps to Passionate Love. The 6 Steps to Songwriting Success. The 5 Steps to Successful Selling. The 4 Laws of Debt-Free Prosperity. The 3 Steps to Yes. 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Now, did you notice that no one ever publishes a list of 8? This is most likely because people who come up with 8 things either drop one or add one. 8 just doesn't feel right. The associations aren't as good as with 7 or 9. Why? Because 8 is a homonym for ate, A-T-E, and brings to mind hate, whereas 7 rhymes with heaven and is everybody's lucky number. 9, that's how many months we spend in the womb, the most peaceful time of our life. Associations. Once, in a moment of weakness, I myself listed the 12 causes for advertising failure. That was back in the Wizard of Ads, chapter 35. I might just as easily have named 17, 61, or 183 causes, but I chose 12 because it's a number of completeness and gives the reader more confidence in the authority of the list. There are 12 months in a year, 12 hours on a clock face, 12 signs of the zodiac. 12 is useful because it's easily divisible by a lot of numbers, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Are you beginning to understand why recovery groups typically embrace a 12-step program? Numbers, words, colors, and names all carry mental associations. Can I say 365 without your thinking days in a year? Your ability to brand is determined by your understanding of the associative images that will be conjured by the numbers, words, colors, names, shapes, and pictures you present to the customer. An ad always says more than it says. What do your ads say?